Dude here. Well, heading off for another run, this time in glorious HD, high definition, 720, 780p, one of those two, and hopefully it looks pretty good. Hopefully the frame rate's not too bad. Hopefully the sound's not too terrible either. Got to play around with my volume levels. I know it's a truck, so it's loud, it's noisy, and I am loud, verbose, and I cannot be missed. But basically, I'm heading out to Philadelphia. I got to grab a car. Then I got to head out to Delaware, grab another car, and then the boss dropped the bombshell. I'm trying to do jerky work, and especially shows on the weekend, and he's thinking of picking up motor clubs. Ugh. So potentially, the shop can go from busy to really, really busy. Completely busy and entirely too busy for words. And, well, it's going to get long and drawn out when it comes down to it, because when you start picking up motor clubs, you never know what you're going to get. You have the big three, which would be your lockouts, tire changes, and gas calls. Okay, jump starts. Gas calls are easy. Basically go out there, dump some gas in a guy's car, roll out, lock out, get him in. Jump start, obviously. Tire change, those suck. My favorite ones are the guys that have BMWs, don't know how to jack them up correctly. And, well, they jack them up, they don't put on the handbrake, the car drops off its jack, and they go, hey man, how do I fix this? Yeah, dude, we can fix this, but first off, you're going to sign this waiver form. Alright, folks, it's going to be part one down, and I'm going to keep on rolling north. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing, because, well, this is in glorious HD. Good times. Alright, I'm sure I got the purists going, I got my iPod, my life is great. Well, you know what? I got my MP3 player, and life is better. Let me tell you why. Because I know with iPod, you basically got to have the, well, you got to have the program, you got to have iTunes, you got to deal with all that horse crap. It's kind of a pain in the ass. I got an iPod. I got a 4 gig ancient nano that works okay. The sound quality is actually, it's actually a little better than my little guy over there, which is a Sansa E260. Picked it up for a song, and I really like an MP3 player. Yeah, I know the sound quality is not quite as good as an iPod, but you know what? For me to load an album, which I just loaded a dance album I picked up with the Target, I got the thing for like $9. Okay, if you do the math, I got 17 songs for $9. That's a steal. That's cheaper than iTunes. And yeah, I know they're pretty much ancient at this point. I know CNC Music Factory is pretty old, but when it comes right down to it, it's easier for me to buy a CD, drag and drop it into my computer, then drag and drop it to an MP3 player, and literally that's all it is. You're dragging and dropping files, and these things are just an absolute hoot to work on. Now, when it comes down to it, I don't need to have iTunes playing Nanny State, telling them my listening habits, and I don't also have to deal with the fact that, I mean, like I said, I got an iPod, I had iTunes, I did all the, you know, the file sharing stuff, and, you know, it really got annoying. I mean, when I would go to my computer resource, you know, Control-Alt-Delete, where you basically look at your task manager, and your computer is pegging the CPU use because iTunes is trying to tell everything that you do to home base. Oh, I pulled that thing out and I said, no way, dude. As a matter of fact, I even turned on my my pop-up blocker, my firewall, and it still was hogging resources worse than McAfee. I said, you know what, dude? I got a little surprise for you. It's called the delete button. I'm going to be uploading no further songs to my iPod, and it's going to sit in the glove box of the Toyota Daily Driver as a just in case. Now, I got satellite in there, so it's, you know, it's kind of a fallback. If I have satellite and I have really, you know, like cruddy reception, sometimes I'll get, you know, wild hair at my ass and I'll throw the nano on. I mean, I got the adapter, so it's no problem. The biggest thing, though, is I don't like people telling other people what I'm doing, especially if it's a little electronic device going, I'm going to tell what you did. I don't like that. I really don't like that, and when it comes time for me to deal with something, I'm going to step aside and I'm going to find my own path. Ergo, the MP3 player. MP3 players are exceedingly cheap at this point, and they work. Also, the other cool thing, and this is kind of one of those little behind-the-scenes things most people don't know, you can drag and drop files. Of course, it can't read them, but you can use it as a storage device. So I actually have, like, important files, hidden files. You know, I made folders. I throw them into the MP3 player, and I use it like a flash drive. How much stuff is actually in there? It ain't nearly full, and it's close to 400 songs at this point. Good times. takes more traffic to go through the weigh station, and that's really annoying. It takes more than 2. It takes like 200. Ugh, annoying. Well, you got to do the weigh stations if you're driving something big enough, and damn it, I'm big enough. Oh well. Well, more of the same, more of the same. Basically, get on the scale, wait for 2 seconds, get a wave off, proceed onward. Well, you kind of have to do it if you're driving a truck that's big enough, and if you're big enough, you better do the scale. It's just all there is to it. Ooh, that one looks intriguing. Hummer with geosat stuff. Pretty cool. So what do these things do topped out? That. About 80. About 82 sometimes. And that's just simply the way it's locked in because it tops out about 2,500 RPM. These engines don't spin up much, but that's what they do. So these things are roughly locked in about 80 some odd miles an hour, unless you got the gears like a truck driver. And, well, I got the automatic, so I've only got 5 gears. That's it. Oh well, wish I had more sometimes, but this thing surprises a lot of people that play games. Alright folks, I'm in Delaware, and I've officially finished probably one of the suckiest cups of coffee I've had in, well, a very, very long time. It's my misfortune to go to the 7-Eleven right next to my workplace, and yuck. Yuck. I don't think, well, 2 heaping handfuls of sugar helped it much, but now I know why I brew my own, because this stuff sucked, man. It was, yuck. And I'm kind of a coffee snob. If you want really good coffee, talk to Doc Simonson. Dude roasts up some really good coffee. Alright folks, I'm gonna break off on this piece, but I'm still rolling north. I haven't quite gotten to Philadelphia just yet, but I'm in Delaware. No, I'm not going to do any Suicide Blondes, but I'm definitely in Pennsylvania, and I'm jamming out to NXS. Good times. Hey folks, I'm rolling up to a stoplight, but let me give you some, well, good information here. Why do tractor trailers take so long to stop? Well, there's something called, listen to this, it's called air dwell. What that means is you hit the brake pedal, which is, it's an air brake. You can see my gauges drop when I'm pumping the brakes because I'm working air through the system, but there's something called air dwell. Now what that means is when you basically get on the brake pedal, it takes a moment of time for the air pressure to go from the reservoir, through the valve, through the brake pedal, and of course, you know, all the various piping and plumbing and all the other good stuff like that, until it finally hits the braking system. Now, it's not like when you pump a hydraulic, excuse me, it's not like when you pump a hydraulic system and you basically get like almost instantaneous results. You have to build air pressure to build volume to build pressure for it to work. Now the thing is also essentially, when you hit the brake pedal in a truck or anything with air brakes, it doesn't instantly come on. There is about an 1/8 of a second delay from the time you hit the brake pedal until it actually starts actuating the brakes. Now, is it a huge adjustment? No, but it's something you've got to be very aware of when you're driving trucks with air brakes. Now, the reason why you don't cut off a truck with air brakes is, well, 2 reasons. One, it's a big-ass truck and it takes a long-ass time to stop. A panic stop for a tractor trailer at 60 miles an hour is 300 feet. That's a panic stop. That basically means that if you cut him off, he's going to run your ass for the distance of a football field because he can't stop. Now, secondly, because the air dwell, you get on the brakes, it takes that moment of time for the brakes to actually engage, which means you're eating up distance. Okay, let's just see. 60 miles an hour, you're basically covering a mile per minute, which is 5,280 feet. Okay, for every second of that time, you're covering not a small increment of distance. For an 1/8 of a second, you covered probably the distance of probably a tractor trailer length. Not good. Really not good. So basically, if you cut off a tractor trailer, dude's on the brakes, he's going to be into your ass, and physics are going to tell you there ain't nothing he can do about it except for, well, wave high as he says hello. Don't cut off trucks. That's just dumb. Alright, I'm going to break off on this section and keep on rolling. do it here. And it looks like we got well, we got a couple cars on board. I got a Kia Rondo, whatever the hell that is, and I got a Pontiac G6. Well, they're two cars. They're two cars to tow. I've got Led Zeppelin, so I'm heading back to the shop now. I got an ETA of about 2:30, so it's not too terrible bad, but I am going to stop and grab a hamburger or something. I'm looking a little hungry and I'm feeling a little peckish. Yeah, I need to get some food. I'm thinking, well, I'm thinking Roy Rogers. Going to be passing one of the travel stops, and they've got a Roy Rogers. Bacon cheeseburger, goodness, yum yum. I'm going to park this thing beside a tractor trailer so I give you guys like a representational size, and you can see just how big this booger is. But anyway, I'm going to roll on down the road a ways and go on from there. Good times. Alright, I think I have found my pot at the end of the rainbow. Good times. Alright folks, we're stopped and basically got the whole ball of wax here, so let's do a quick run through. Basically got the truck, going all the way back to the car in the back, okay? Obviously, this is how you're supposed to hook stuff up on a flatbed. You got 4 points of contact and a safety chain. So basically you got 2 straps up front, got 2 straps in the rear. Now, it's a little loose. I might snug that one up before I roll out again. Second vehicle always has a safety chain. There is an auxiliary plug that goes to a second set of lights that goes to the back of the car. These are always tire strapped on. And, well, let's just show a little comparison here. Basically, you got the little stick-on lights here. They are magnets. So basically, you got a second set of taillights. It is by law you're supposed to have these on the back of the second vehicle. Now, comparatively, you guys think a tow truck's not that big. Well, let me show you just how big the tow truck can be. I'm now walking back up to the front. Obviously, this is a tractor trailer. Obviously, this is a 53-foot trailer. I'm missing it by about 2 feet, okay? So 2 feet short of 53 feet, that's 51 feet. Now, let's walk to the very back. Walking back, walking back, walking back, walking back, walking back. I got the red light of doom, so I'm going to have to change batteries in this camera. Hopefully it don't die. Okay, going to the very back. Here's the end of the trailer. That's the back of the car that I'm towing. So this thing is everything of 51 to 52 feet long. In gross combination. That's why I don't mess around, and that's why I drive careful, because this thing is not small. Alright folks, I'm going to break off here and grab some chow. Good times. Alright folks, well, I chowed down. Back on the main drag, get ready to turn over and hit the dealership and drop these cars off, and go on from there. Thanks again for the ride along, and here's another, well, day at work, and now you can see it in HD. Good times. Pay attention to that little box in the corner there, because it's got the important information. It tells you that this is, well, better quality, and you're not looking at crud. Alright folks, here in the East Buckets channel, let's say see, and as always,